it comes to online child sexual abuse, we are talking incredibly violent, incredibly young, and very viral content. And it's not talked about in our society because it is probably the darkest topic you can discuss. But the part of childhood that we see should not exist. "20 years ago, the problem of child sexual abuse material had virtually disappeared. Before, people would have to pass them through the mail, and there was a small community of people. And then as advancements in technology came, it just exploded. Faster internet speeds, cameras in our hands, anonymity on the dark web. That is a hotbed for being able to do the worst things to a human and hide behind a computer screen. More than 60% of the images are infants and toddlers or prepubescent. And in the last 7 years, we've seen the amount of child sexual abuse material on the internet grow by over 700%. Technology had dramatically changed the game when it came to child sexual abuse, and yet technology hadn't kept up in the response. And so that was why Thorn was created. The approach that we took was first to collect as much publicly available data as we could. Right now, depending on what type of crime and what type of environment, the time it takes to get to a child can be hours to years. And data can help us build tools for law enforcement to help them get to a child faster. If an officer is looking for a missing child and it may likely be a trafficking victim, they can log into our tool Spotlight and enter the information they have about that child. And our tool will, within portions of a second, scan all information online related to the buying and selling of sex, which is where a child will be sold if they're trafficked, and look to see not only in their jurisdiction, but anywhere in the country, if there's any information related to that child.
When we're conducting investigations of human trafficking, one of the things to note is that our traffickers move. They're constantly moving their girls. The problem it creates for law enforcement is I have a short window or a short amount of time to identify these victims. Spotlight saves us time. In the old days, it took a lot of hours and a lot of manpower to conduct investigations. When I sit down at my desk in the morning and I use Spotlight, I can identify potential victims within minutes. It works.
We now sit today with a tool that is used across every state in the United States and into Canada by more than 7,000 officers across 1,600 agencies at the federal, state, and local level. The second thing that we need to do is we need to remove this content from the internet. And we can do that through data as well. If you're any type of company that hosts user-generated content, images, videos, chats, allows people to build communities, our tool will offer you the intelligence that lets you constantly be screening that content, looking for signals of child sexual abuse, and removing that content. The third part of this is we have to have a different public dialogue. It is a dialogue with our kids about growing up and discovering your sexuality with a camera in your hand, which this is the first generation to do that, and help them understand what that means.
The technology we're building is efficient, it works, it's nimble, because traffickers change their modus operandi, and we can change ours as well, just as efficiently, if not more efficiently, as they can. It's enduring.
Every single day, we know it's working by the stories we hear of the children who are rescued who now have a better chance at life. We know it's working when we can see the data of how much more quickly investigations are running. What has to happen is that approach has to scale. When data sits in silos, it is not serving the child. What we need to be doing is building systems that can be leveraged globally and work so that those on the front lines can do their jobs as quickly as they can. I want to create a world where every child can simply be a kid, thrive in their innocence, in their playfulness, in their curiosity. And if we can be a part of creating a world like that, that's worth every minute of the time that we all spend on this work.